Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I'm just getting my attention focusers, my cards, ready. Okay. I asked what this conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is blockages have been destroyed for you. So blockages have been destroyed. Yay. That's something to celebrate. Hold on, my people. Let me just kind of close this bag because I don't want to spill. All right, we just put it right there. Okay. And then I'm told this deck as well. This deck or the green deck? I've been really feeling the green deck. Okay. Soul says, grab a couple cards from here, right? Just, okay. Grab a couple cards from here. All right. And then get the green deck as well. That's a lot of cards, though. Hi. My goodness. Okay. All right. So there you go. Okay. Let's get started. Let's get ready to rumble. Feel the rumble. Okay. Here goes. Breathe. I asked what we're going to talk about, and I heard blockages have been destroyed for you. So for all, actually, you guys who went to last night's event, oh my God. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. I definitely, yeah. I'm very happy that last night happened. I'm just very happy for our community. For those of you who went to last night's Black Magic Revocation event, it was a private event. It wasn't broadcast on any of my platforms. How did you guys sleep? How do you feel today? Ah, my God. I just like, life's just good. Life is just good. Life is good. And I 100% believe soul when it tells me that amazing things are happening for our community, not just for me specifically, but for our community. I 100% believe soul with the entirety of everything that I am. I also believe that the blockages have been destroyed for you. This is the part where you start to choose how you're going to move forward. Let's see. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Damn. Soul's not playing. You are invoking something to you. You are calling something to you. This something that you are calling to you has to do with what you're trying to create for yourself, what you're trying to build for yourself. First and foremost, the blockages that need to be destroyed, and they are in the process of being destroyed or already destroyed, is a type of disrespect that you allow, right? No more of that. The ways in which you have somehow allowed things to continue, to intensify, to become worse and worse and worse. No more of that. Soul is putting a kibosh, to the kielbasa kibosh. I love kielbasa, but I can't eat it anymore. But it's so good. It's so good. So a lot of what's happening right now, part of the correction is, again, soul is going to have those that, they're going to have the opportunity to kind of just sit and spin in place. Nothing they do is going to take hold. There's going to be no traction to their plans. Good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good. I 100 support that. 100, 1000% support that. So as they just continue to sit and spin, a lot of their energy is going to be burned up. It's not going to be allowed to reach you. Do your part. Do your part. None of that's going to reach you. So these are people who are very upside down in their shadows. They really just don't. Yeah. And then they're trying to use upside down magic. And soul is just like, bitch. Soul is, I'm serious. Soul is totally just like, bitch. Right. And then it's not, nothing's going to come of it. They're going to try and try and try, and nothing's going to come of it. It's just, yeah. Because guess what? Soul is putting a perimeter around you. It's a living perimeter, meaning it moves with you. You don't have to stay in the same space. You're at the center of this perimeter. You are surrounded by protection. The blockages that once existed, they're being destroyed for you. For you. Why? To bring your manifestation to full fruition. Ooh, hot diggity damn. I like that. I like that. To bring all of that to full fruition. Full fruition. To the individual who's trying to do things to my energy while I'm live, you're about to get hurt. I like this too. Let's see. The High Lady of Love and Compassion, Reverence, Kindness, and Consideration. The days of your reverence, kindness, and consideration of others at the detriment of yourself, those are done. Those days are done. They're done. They're done. It's time for consequences. Yes, time for consequences. I 100% believe that and support that. It is absolutely time for consequences for people who have gotten away with a lot of different things for so long. It's not hard to be a good person. Well, it's not hard for a good person to be a good person. Michael goes, "Are you sure?" Maybe I'm wrong. Um, I'm being given this awareness that wicked people find it extremely impossible to be a good person to others. That's okay. To the wicked, we don't give a fuck about your struggles anymore. That's for you to figure out. Go call your mom, go call your therapist, whatever the fuck you need to do, go do it. Leave me and my community alone. So, next card, the camel boy, small steps asking for help. So, whatever attempts on you, whatever attempts by people who are jealous of you, whatever that is, um, yeah, they're not even going to be able to take those small steps. They're being placed in front of a wall, a huge wall, not just a brick wall. Think Great Wall of China. Think of the Great Wall of Tartaria. What? Yeah. Asking for help. They're going to try to involve others. Yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Have you guys ever heard of fire burning wildly just from ashes? Like it's using ash as fuel. Have you guys ever seen that? Have you guys ever heard of that? There's nothing added to the fire. Um, it's just like it's literally burning from ash. The ash is what, because As far as I know, once something is burned, it's damn near impossible for it to burn. It's already burned. That's why they do the backfires, right? That's why fire departments do backfires, or whatever the heck it's called. They create a perimeter fire, um, and then they put it out, and then it creates this space where the forest fire, wildfire, whatever the fire is, um, it can't really jump it because everything there has already been burned. It's already burned. There's no fuel. Hmm. It's a curious thing. It's a very, very curious thing. Just wondering if any of you knew. The altar priestess, preparation, prayer, sacred ritual. Mm, 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 mm. Intentions have already been set by you, by your holy team, by your soul, whatever it is, intentions have already been set. And you have to focus all of your energy on the goodness that's trying to come forward. Focus all of your energy on that. Forget about these camel boys, right? Or camel girls. The camel boy, camel girl thing. Just forget about them. Forget about them. They're nothing but blockages that have been kicked down by soul. Your soul. You didn't even have to ask for this. Your soul was just like, listen, it's time for the next part. It's time to clear the path. And so it did. It cleared the path. I anticipate some really, really good things happening for our community, for members of our community, as individuals and as a community at large. So be prepared because you're about to enter into a sacred union. And it's not what you think. This has nothing to do with romance. It has to do with a partnership with an individual who can help you really set the stage for something. Ooh, it's 144. Let's see what my 144, 88%. Bitch. Yeah. I love this. I love this. Okay. 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 Um, ooh. Woo. Listen to this. I was just looking at my notifications and it says, come on. Don't act like you don't know me, phone. It says, when things go wrong, it's important to know that you're not alone. Ooh. I'm not even joking. I show you. I show you. Hold on. Okay. Let me just. Okay. And then let me. Okay. Okay. No, stop it. Okay. So. No, 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 no. Don't do that. No. Don't. Okay. You know what? We're done. We're done. We're just going to save that. And then let's go ahead and further edit it. Yes. I'm going to show you guys this. You need to see it. You need to, because you need to. All right. Hold on. Ooh, someone just hopped on the live stream. They're trying not to be detected. Oh, and they hate me so much. I don't care. What do I care how you feel about me? This is my channel. You don't like me. Why are you coming on here? You're so silly. You're so silly and so entitled. What are you, like a spiritual, what do you call it? A spiritual colonizer? Hold on. Let me put this on the screen because it's important for you guys to see this. This is like a really powerful message. Soul is absolutely giving all of the confirmation, all of the confirmation. Just accept the confirmations as they come. Ba-da-da-da. Okay. All right. So look at this. This is potent. Potent. So this is a notification that came in, right? And I'm going to share it with you guys because this, you need to You need to allow yourself to receive this confirmation. Look, when things go wrong, it's so important to know that you're not alone. You're not alone. Soul is letting our community know. It's letting our community know. It's got you. It's got you. It's absolutely got you. And there is nothing that you need to fear. Nothing. There's nothing that you need to be like, "Oh, but they don't want me to succeed." Who gives a fuck what they want? Who the fuck is they? The serious question, who the fuck is they? Who's that? Nobody to me. Do you know how many people haven't wanted me to succeed for how many years? I don't give a shit. I don't. I don't. You know how many people were so angry about my event last night? I could feel it. And I just laughed because I had my event anyways. And I will share this. I will share this without giving exact numbers. There were over 100 people present. Over 100. No one can stop you when you put your mind to something. No one can stop you. Only you can do that. Only you can do that. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful space. Oh my God. It's just such a good space for anyone who was present last night. If you want to share how good it felt, I, mm, 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 mm. I'm just saying. Ooh, see, I got another notification. Who are they? We don't give a fuck, Paul Wallace. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck are they? You're right, Paul Wallace. Who are they? They're shadow people. They stay in the shadows. I'm serious. I got a notification from Paul Wallace. He doesn't know me personally. It's from his channel. Encounters with shadow people. Who are they? Irrelevant, sour people. That got nothing to do with you. Focus on your journey, you guys. Focus on your journey. Someone had said yesterday in the live stream, they kind of had like a concern, like, what if, some of the the opposition, bought a ticket just so they can be in there and see, they could see they were irrelevant. It had nothing to do with the ops. It didn't. What they bought a ticket to what? To see if I would talk shit and like, you're the furthest thing from my mind. It was a very beautiful space of powerfully calling back your sovereignty, your power. It was amazing. I didn't want to leave it. My husband was like, um, he wished it lasted longer. What? What? He enjoyed it thoroughly. My non-spiritual husband, he's not into this subject matter and he doesn't have to be. But he like thoroughly enjoyed it. He was like, it's kind of sad that it had to end so soon. I was like, we were on for about an hour already. And he goes, what? I said, I know. He said he wished it lasted longer. I did too, to be honest. But I told people it would be about 45 minutes, and we were close to an hour already. As I was just like, okay, you know what? Time to go. But that's the thing, you guys. People will get in their head this entire story of how you're so obsessed with them. Um, but the reality is, are you? If you're going to be obsessed with something, be obsessed with your growth, with your healing, with plowing through the debris, the wreckage of the blockages that soul completely obliterated. Nothing is going to stop me at this point. Say that to yourself. I'm going to say it to myself. Nothing is going to stop me at this point. Nothing is going to stop me at this point. Nothing is going to stop me at this point. Nothing's going to stop me at this point. It's just not. I'm learning something. The most powerful statements for me personally are not necessarily the ones where I'm saying nothing is going to stop me at this point with all of that passion and conviction. And I'm Piscean, sometimes I speak dramatic. It's true. It's true. It's just an emphasis. I know how to say emphasis, okay? It's a movie reference. But the most powerful statements that come from me, I feel, are the ones where it's like just very matter of fact, like, no, nothing's going to stop me anymore. Because it's not me declaring something that's opposing the adversity that's being placed before me. No, it's me just like, no, this is my life. No, 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 no. Nothing's going to stop me anymore. Not even myself. I'm embracing every part of this journey. It's taken me a long time, but I'm finally embracing it. Guys, look for me on TikTok. I'm going to release a video later today. I've released a video before where I was playing with lightning. I'm not a one-trick pony. I have videos from earlier today where I just decided to go ahead and play with fire. I'll release those videos. And maybe at some point in the next few days, I'll go ahead and I'll figure out a way to document the ways in which I can play with water, the ways in which I can play with air, the ways in which I can play with matter. All the elements of my power return back to me. All the elements of my power return back to me. All the elements of my power return back home to me. Say that to yourself at least 3 times. Whatever your power is, wherever it's rooted, let it come home to you. Maybe your superpower is a bullshit detector. That's a really good superpower, by the way. But you got to listen to it. You got to take it seriously. You got to take it seriously. Okay. So allow your power to come back home to you. Whatever blockages that were put into place to cause you to feel ashamed, to cause you to assume that if you reclaim this power, that you're full of yourself, that you are showing off, that you're cocky, that you're this, that you're that. Oh, forget about that. Just reclaim your power. Reclaim your power. People get ballsy about you reclaiming your power and their opposition to that, their disdain of that, when you're apologetic for being powerful. I used to be very apologetic for being powerful. I used to, I know it's now that I think about it, it's kind of fucking stupid, but it was where I existed for quite some time. It was this thing of um, bringing me to instant tears if I become aware that you're afraid of me because of my power, because of my capability. I would like it would absolutely crush me. Like it would really fuck up my emotions and my mental space. It would take me days to get over it. Why? I don't know why. But that's where I was. I'm not there anymore. If you're afraid of me, is it because you wish harm upon me and you're afraid I'll find out and correct you? That sounds like a you problem. Stop being a wicked piece of shit. And there's nothing to fear because I don't fuck with people, but I will defend myself. I will correct behaviors that are intentionally designed to be malignant towards me for no reason with zero provocation. Hell the fuck yes, I will correct that. Yeah. Oh, I will also be posting a learning event. I'm going to be teaching people how to defend themselves by way of baneful magic. People didn't know. I'm extremely well versed in baneful magic. It runs through my veins. Yet I've been baneful towards no one. See, the thing about baneful magic, you don't necessarily need to use that to curse people and harm people, target people. You could use baneful magic as a very effective form of defense for yourself. Not just that, because of multiple lives that I've had in the past, I am a daughter of chaos. It is her energy that runs through my channels. I will be pairing baneful magic with chaos magic, not to harm people, but to effectively defend. I'm a damn good teacher, too. Like a damn good teacher. Let me tell you, if I wasn't doing this, I would be teaching. Teaching what? Whatever. What do you want to learn? I'll teach you whatever the fuck you want to learn. Just give me a moment, because if I don't know it, I need to learn it. But I learn very fast, very, very fast. So whatever you need me to teach you, I would have taught you. But instead, Soul has me fucking sitting in this room live streaming. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter, Michaela. I'm just being dramatic. Hold on. I don't want to spit my drink on me. Okay. Look for the announcement today, you guys. And that's going to have to be limited seats, just because I want to be able to really focus on everyone. That workshop is probably going to be um, between 4 to 6 hours long. I want to teach you guys the very specifics and have it be a very, very potent defense defensive workshop. Everything that I teach is about defending yourself and reclaiming your sovereignty. Yeah, I'm not about harming people and teaching people how to harm others, but I am about consequences, letting people learn through their own selection of which consequences they want to live through. Yeah. All right. A time to give rather than to take. It's in reverse. So this is telling me, and this keeps coming up in reverse, right? This is telling me that it's time for you to let yourself receive the very things that your soul, wants you to receive. For some, it's something really beautiful, amazing, abundance, money. I've had several community members come to me privately. I won't share their business, but it's like the amount of abundance and blessing that they suddenly receive. Since I've been saying the past several days, like your abundance, that's it. Your blessings upon blessings are coming. It's literally it it makes me cry because it's so beautiful. It makes me so happy for them. And I was saying last night, um, paying it forward is not always about money. Sometimes you're given a nice little chunk of change, um, just so you don't have to be worrying about work and you can be present for someone. Might be a stranger, might be someone in your life. I don't know. But paying it forward is not always about giving money, right? um your dreams need a practical plan. So not only is your soul giving you the tools, giving you the reminders, giving you the guidance, you need to have a practical plan to bring it into full fruition into this life. So there's different layers and levels of existence, right? Those different layers and levels of existence requires different layers and levels of application of intention. um Dreams, the intention is all mental and emotional. Well, it's mental. When you go to begin manifesting it, you're pairing the mental with the emotional to fuel that. So you can begin very passionately looking for the different things you can do to bring it to full fruition. When you want it to be full fruition, it takes action, because action exists on this physical plane of existence. So these are the different layers and levels. You need a practical plan. You need to be able to say, like, okay, these are my thoughts. This is how I feel. With my thoughts and my feelings, this is what I'm going to do, because this is what soul is guiding me to do. And as I do this, then I expect X, Y, and Z to be some of the options of outcomes from my effort. And depending on whether it's X, Y, or Z, then the next step, the next action I'm going to take is 1, 2, and 3. That's a practical plan, because you're not trying to force anything, right? Um, you know, whatever it is, you're not forcing it. You're simply facilitating. You're helping it come to full fruition with your thoughts, emotions, and actions. A win-win outcome is forecast. You're going to win. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. That's all I remember from the song. I don't even know what the song is. You're going to win energetically, spiritually, legally, financially, emotionally, mentally, socially, whatever. All the layers and levels. It's a win all the way across. It's a win all the way across. All the way across. All the way across. Balance spirituality and practicality. So you need to make sure that you're not all intuition and not all logic. You have to balance it, okay? So you're going to be given information via intuition, and then you have to use your logic to figure out how to apply it into your day-to-day life. The blockages are no longer a concern, because it's just like that. Just like that. It's like, it got yeeted. It got yeeted across the room. It got yeeted. Okay, nothing will come of this situation. So there's some petty bitches still hiding in the shadows, trying to do this or that. Don't worry. Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when Emmy come for you? Bad girl, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when Emmy come for you? But da 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 da. I don't know the words. Da 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 da. Seriously, what they gonna do? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Oh, okay. You're very close to achieving your goal. You're very, very close to achieving your goal. Don't stop now. You know what? Let me tell you. Do I need to gently hold you by the shoulders and shake you like an etch a sketch? Reset the image in your head. Okay. Do you need that? Because at no point is it okay, or has ever been okay, for you to then pull your energy back right as you're about to achieve something. Because as my coach slash older sibling said to me, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you trying to do? Yeah. Because I just kept stacking on more weights onto the bar. And he felt like I was lifting too heavy at that point. So he was like, what the fuck are you trying to do? You got to ask yourself that sometimes. What are you doing? What are you trying to do? Are you taking it too far into the self-doubt? It's okay to have some questions. It is not okay to doubt yourself, to think that, you can't do this. How is it going to happen? Well, it ain't going to happen if you fight yourself. You're wasting your energy fighting yourself. So that's what this card's about. Balance in reverse. It's creating an imbalance when you choose. It's a choice. It's a choice. I'm calling you out right now. It's a choice. When you choose to continue to be like, but there's no way it could happen. Okay. Okay. Okay, pocket full of pins. I hope you sit on those pins so you empty your pockets. I said what I said. What? You carry a pocket full of pins so you could burst your own bubble. I hope you sit on those pins so you could take those pins out your pocket. That's an obnoxious thing to do. Stop carrying pins in your pocket. Stop it. Stop bursting your own bubble. Go all the way through. If it doesn't pan out, then there's another way you're supposed to do it, or there's something else you're supposed to do. Go all the way through, though. Take it all the way through. Put the effort. Put the effort. And when life guides you in a different direction, then it just goes in a different direction. And then go in that different direction. You tried, you put the effort, and now you know for sure that's not what you're supposed to do. That's not the direction you're supposed to go in. Right? Okay. It's all good. It's all good. It's time for you to awaken. It's time for you to increase your level of awareness of what it is you're trying to achieve for yourself. Increase your awareness. That's how you're being asked to do, really, is to increase your awareness, right? Once you become aware to the degree you need to be aware, it's impossible for you to return back to that space of ignorance, that space of, well, no, some people, they are able to because they enter into the delulu. I don't know. I stand corrected. Huh? It is what it is. It is what it is. Worlds within worlds, but it's in reverse. So, as part of the blockages being addressed, all of this like really good stuff that you're trying to hide and pretend like you can't do. I threw the card at your forehead. I do it again and again. And one more time, one more time. Okay. I threw it because what are you doing? People know you're not normal. They know that you're magical. I think they keep picking on you. That's why they're picking on you. They know that you have all of this like tremendous potentiality and amazingness, and they're jealous because they don't have that. They see it. I know you're trying, you thought you were hiding it. You're not hiding it. They know. They know. You're the only one. The only one that's believing that you're not as special and magical as you are, babe. Do you want me to hold your hand as I say it? You're the only one that's believing your lie that you're normal, that you're mediocre, that you're. I'm sorry. You were the only one that was believing that. So now that you know that your secret's out, you need to kind of just start living and moving as a magical creature that you are. The profound expression of divinity that you are. You are divinity compressed into the density of flesh. That's magical AF. It's magical AF. This is why people are picking on you. If you're getting picked on, this is probably why they see it. They see it. They see the grand expression of divinity that you are. It irritates them. It irritates them. Have considered entering a note height singing contest for shits and giggles, but I'm not competitive, so no. Well, if you're not competitive, you could enter it and have no problem if you don't win. Not being competitive doesn't mean you have to sit out of an event that you would enjoy. Right? That's how I see it. I can participate in any events because I shut off the aspect of me that is full blown competitive. And yeah, I could still participate. It's just now I'm participating to enjoy myself, not to win at any cost. Yeah. So unconditional love for the self. Part of that unconditional love is not restricting the wonderful experiences you can have just because it doesn't fit into the neat little boxes that humans say things need to fit into. Humans are messy little things. They just are. We as humans, we're messy in our thoughts, our feelings, our process. So, yeah, let it be a mess, at least to some degree. And have unconditional love for yourself and allow yourself to enjoy. Enjoy an experience. Have patience with your process. For many of us, this patience message has to do with the fact that bum, ba-dum, we're trying to force a process. Did you know the most surefire way? And I'm about to spit some truth here. Love laced bullets. I'm about to give you guys some little known information from the world of parasitic extraction. One of the most surefire ways to get a parasitic circumstance within your auric field is to be so heavily based in ego that you're forcing your spiritual process. You're trying to rush to develop abilities. You're trying to rush to ripen. Just like with fruit, you can accelerate the ripening of fruit if you expose it to specific chemicals. Chemicals being representative of parasitic things. In the analogy, the chemical is a parasite. It's the demon. It will absolutely rush your progression. I'm not joking. It will absolutely rush your progression. At what cost? Are you for certain that you can remove that parasite at the end of that cycle? Because the more desperate a person is to be able to show that they're powerful, the higher the likelihood it will merge with them. I see it time and time and time again. Yeah. I see it time and time and time again. And some of the things that they say, and I bet. No joke, no joke. I'm sorry. I'm having a conversation with Michael. Stop talking to me. One of the most common things that these type of people will say as they're then entering into a merger point. Emmy's such a bitch. She's just jealous. Jealous of what? Emmy's just jealous of me because she can tell that I'm becoming powerful. Good. No, she's faking it. She's actually jealous. Jealous of what? Because you're powerful? Your power has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. No one is my competition, and I'm not anyone's competition. Sorry, babe. No, I'm serious. Got nothing to do with me. Your journey is yours. My journey was never contingent on how fast I can get to some imaginary finish line before you. We're not even on the same path. We're not racing in the same heat. Michael said that. I don't know what that means. What does it mean? Hold on. Meaning, okay. A heat is one of a series of races or competitions. The winners of a heat take part in another race or competition against the winners of other heats. Oh, a race heat is a preliminary race or competition within a series of races or competitions. The winners of each heat then compete against the winners of other heats in other race or competition. Oh, okay. Heats are used to reduce the number of competitors in a round of races. For example, if there are 32 runners in a 100-meter dash, they might be divided into 4 heats of 8 runners each. The term heat originated in the 1600s when horse racing was popular. When horses were warmed up before a race, it was called a heat, and the term later came to be used for the race itself. Okay. It's not quite making sense to me. It makes sense, but at the same time, there's something in my brain that's just like, no, we don't like this. Okay. Heats are preliminary races before a final. You'll typically do qualifying, then 1 to 3 heats, then a final race. The heat results will determine your start grid position for the final, although the actual way it's calculated will vary depending on series. It kind of makes sense, but it doesn't. um, ooh. Okay. It says heat stands for high explosive anti-tank. It uses explosive shaped charge to accelerate a metal slug through armor. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Well, let me just click on this real quick. Um, what would you launch that from? Cartridge 120 heat MPT M830. This is nothing I'm ever going to use, but I'm just curious. HE and HD dash frag. Okay, girl, stop. What are you looking at munitions for? I got I got distracted. Um, because you said heat. I don't know what it meant. You know, I'm nosy AF like that. I needed to know what you meant. Oh, shit. He used heat for a reason. Hold on. Let me reopen that closed tab. Oh my God. Oh. Okay. Y'all. Ooh. Shit. Soul is not playing around. Okay, so I know he used heat for a reason, right? And I'm like, no, I want to know what you meant because I couldn't understand what he meant. I know it has to do with races. I don't know much about races, but I knew it had to do with races. But I also know he's using a different version of the definition of heat. And so I'm scrolling along and I see heat stands for, let me read it again. um High explosive anti-tank. So then it's this thing, this message of, and I look at the cards and I'm like, oh shit, soul ain't playing about you. Soul is not playing about you. So whatever or whoever is trying to use tanks, we're speaking the spiritual realm, we're not talking about literal, trying to use tanks, right? Tanks to guard the blockages that they're trying to rebuild, to prevent you from going forward, to prevent you from progressing. Oh, look at that. Stay in your space of integrity, because I see these two things and I'm like, it's charging. It's charging for what? For what? It's going to be placed in your hand. Efficiency. What's going to be placed in your hand? The heat. The heat. The main advantage of heat type rounds are their versatility. They're designed for one thing: to kill tanks. When it hits a lightly armored vehicle, it go right through, creating very little shrapnel, as there's very little armor to create shrapnel from. However, a heat warhead will not only penetrate, but also create large explosion. Soul is willing to go the distance for you. This is all metaphoric. All metaphoric. Calm down. It's all metaphoric. But what Soul is trying to say is, It could either come from simple thought of like, no, you will not stop me, or it will be supercharged, at which point within your hands, within your capacity to make things extra efficient, it will go ahead and create a full-on warhead. If that metaphoric they wants war, soul is saying, you're armed, you're ready, weapons hot. Oh shit. Oh shit. Relies on sheer kinetic energy to penetrate enemy armor. Kinetic energy. Hence the it's 222. Soul is pushing something forward. Kinetic is movement. It's movement. It's pushing. Soul is pushing, pushing, pushing. Soul is focused. So here, people don't realize this because people watch too many movies. Now, I'm no expert. I'm categorically a novice, right? But I know that even if I'm looking through a site, I love holes. Even if I'm looking through a site, I'm not closing one of my eyes. Both eyes open. Both eyes open, and you don't go like you don't go like that to no. That cracks me up. What you want to do is position it in such a way where when you raise it, it's lined and you're simply lining your eye with a shot, right? You keep both eyes open, hold it tight, hold it tight, hold it tight. Michael, quit messing around. Hold it tight. And there you go. Both eyes open. Both eyes open, no emotion. When you involve your emotion in that shot, you're going to miss. Why? The tension. The tension. When you're focused on being simply fully present and you have it taught against you, we're speaking longer range, not sidearm. Okay? Speaking longer range. When you have it tight against you, you're putting your shoulder into it, right? You're tight. You got to keep it tight. And when you do that and your foot's properly positioned to brace you, what ends up happening, no emotion involved, is just a single movement. Like that. It's just a single movement. And it's fast. You have emotion involved, you're like, and that's going to mess up your entire efficiency. It's going to mess up your accuracy. It's going to mess all of that up. All of that up. So what do you need to do right now? Set the emotion aside. Action, thought, action. Make it second nature. Whatever it is you're needing to do, make it second nature. This is what I do at the range. And when I go to the range, I'm not wasting my ammo. That shit's not cheap. It's not cheap. It's not super expensive, but I don't want to waste it. So what do I have to do first to prepare myself for the task at hand so that I could actually be extremely accurate? And I can be very accurate, even at 100 yards. I can shoot cloverleaf patterns. What do I need to do? If I'm in my emotions, if I'm existing primarily in my emotional body, that's going to be wild. It's going to be, yeah. And I don't like that. It upsets me. I like everything to be nicely grouped, tight groupings, tight groupings. Yeah. You're not going to see it sprayed all over that target. So I allow myself to have the first mag because I do long range type. I do long range stuff. I allow the first mag. It has, I think, I don't know how many, however many is in the first magazine. I let myself be all in my emos. Just be emo. You're fucking wasting your ammo. Go ahead and be emo. You're wasting it. So sometimes it will take me the whole magazine. Sometimes it will take me half. I allow myself to be in my emotions. I allow myself to feel frustrated that I'm wasting my ammo. I'm wasting the target. I'm wasting time. And then I quiet myself and center myself. Oftentimes, even if it's not fully emptied, I will eject that magazine, put a new one, because you know what? I'm starting fresh. I'm not carrying that same energy into this. And it's at that point, no emotion, everything second nature. I can feel when the butt of my pewter pew is not properly positioned. I can feel it. Not properly positioned, it's not going to be level and it's not going to hit what I'm wanting to hit. Everything you do is an extension of you. This is what I had to learn going to the range. That pewted pew is an extension of me. That projectile is an extension of my intent. My intent is to hit the mark. I remove my emotion every single time. I will hit that mark. Every single time I will hit that mark. That is not a question. And I've gone to ranges where people are using much larger rounds than me, where it's like boof. I don't care. At first, I do care. I do. I have PTSD. So that sound, I feel it reverberate through my body. It triggers me. So that's why I allow myself to use half a magazine and then I set that aside. The energy of that, the triggering, the fear, the anxiety, whatever it is, it stays in the magazine that's now ejected. Not using that. I'm not carrying that forward. I don't know. Maybe I just have this weird way of compartmentalizing, but it works. It works. It absolutely works. And then, here's the best part. That magazine stays set aside the entire time I'm at the range. The first one, that stays set to the side the entire time I'm at the range. When I'm done, when I'm finally bored and I'm like, all right, fine, I'm accurate, whatever, and I'm done, I don't want to anymore, I'll put that magazine back. I'll put it back in my pewty pew. And whatever I felt that I kept in that magazine, that shit's not going home with me. Absolutely not. Whatever that was, that's being left at that range. And that's that. These blockages that are being placed in front of your path, it's to stop you on your sacred journey. It's to stop you. It's to get you to feel so wound up within yourself. That's fine. You could be wound up within yourself. If you know how to utilize that, you are unstoppable. Excuse me. All of the things that I've experienced and learned from childhood all the way through now, these show up as little flashes of memory when I need the reminder. What does that mean? For example, I get wound up on myself. What do I think of? Oftentimes, what will flash into my mind is a memory of how I used to play with snakes when I was a kid. I know, craziness. I used to play with snakes as a kid. And one of the things that I learned, it was rare for me to get bit because I realized that so long as the snake's neck does not make an S, it's not charging itself with kinetic energy. It's not loading kinetic potential. It can't strike out at you. I mean, that's a peck. Yeah, it's not going to do anything to you. If I pull that back, I've loaded kinetic energy, at which point the degree of intensity that I can strike out at you, it depends how much did I load? How much did that snake load? So that flashes in my head. I'm like, pulling back. I'm good. I'm out. I'm out. If you have someone that's been adversarial towards you and they pull back, what does that mean? These motherfuckers are plotting. They are plotting. So how do you address that? Well, I learned as a kid, when you see the snake pull its head back, And I used to do this quite a bit because I was a fucking weird kid. I was also one of those kids that would try and stop the microwave before it like beeped. It was like a countdown, and I would try and stop it before it beeped. Yeah. So one of the things I used to do, and I was still pretty young, maybe like 6 or 7 years old, when I would see that the snake is preparing to strike its loaded kinetic energy, take your hand because it's facing me, right? I take my hand. I don't move myself. I move my finger. It's now focused on my finger and it's ready to strike. And I just take my other hand and I grab it. Don't do that. That's what I used to do as a kid. I just grab it. Don't do that. I told you don't play rough. I was probably like Elmira from the Animaniacs as a kid. I really loved animals. I'd bring all kind of wounded shit home. I would. I used to. I used to. But my siblings would catch snakes. Sometimes I would catch it with them, but they would catch snakes and we'd keep it as pets for a little while. And I would play with them while my siblings weren't home. And that's one of the things that I used to do. So if you allow yourself to recognize, if you're in an adversarial type situation, and you allow yourself to recognize that someone's preparing to strike, all you got to do is interrupt the flow. All you got to do is interrupt the flow. Sometimes you do that with truth. You just release some of the truth, like factual stuff. For example, there was a circumstance once upon a time where a person was trying to intimidate me and scare me in their attempts to bully me. And they were like threatening to report my business to the FBI. Okay. You better make sure you don't exaggerate or lie about anything because everything on my end is documented. And perjuring yourself on a federal form, I mean, my logic, especially if you're a veteran who's receiving medical and other benefits from the VA, that would bar you from receiving benefits if it's proven that you perjured yourself. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Just made the snake go limp noodle. Interfered its thought process. Just the truth. You guys could look this up. That's the truth. That's a factuality. When you lie, when you exaggerate details on a federal form and the FBI reporting site, there's a website where you could report things to the FBI online. Yeah, that's not a secret. When you use that and you create lies that are proven as lies, that's called perjury. That's a federal crime because that's a federal reporting. That's a federal form you lied on. That would bar someone from receiving benefits. You got to do what you got to do. You're going to let the snake bite you? You're going to let the snake create blockages for you? You got to know what type of snake you're dealing with. One that's excessively venomous, there's still ways. There are still ways to deal with snakes like that. I mean, I watch a lot of snake handling videos, and I've handled quite a few snakes, never venomous, but I've handled quite a few snakes through my life. Large snakes, small snakes, aggressive snakes, constrictors, reticulated, all kind of different snakes. At the end of the day, it's your fear of the snake that empowers the snake to do harm to you. It's your fear of the snake that empowers the snake to do harm to you. Snakes are benign when you know what you're dealing with. When you know the behavioral patterns, they're benign. They can't harm you unless you allow them. All they need is one opportunity. Take away all the opportunities. Take away all the opportunities. Whatever it is that you are dealing with, these blockages that have been placed before you so that what? You could be locked in a room with a whole bunch of snakes? No, your soul opened the door. Get out of that room. Don't waste your time and energy addressing all the snakes in the room. Get out of that room. Allow yourself to move forward. It's important stuff. You must always remember instruction from soul, right? You must always move with integrity. Integrity. I know it's backwards, but integrity. Exactly, Lisa. Lisa says, my mom said just because a snake can shed its skin doesn't mean it's not a snake anymore. It's just a bigger snake. Yep. With a more voracious appetite. Once a situation, a circumstance, or a person is accurately identified as a metaphoric snake, do you want to be a snake handler? Is that your passion? Because I have no aspirations to be a snake handler. So that means, yeah, no, that needs to be removed. I'm good. That needs to be removed. Okay. Stretch. This is instruction from soul. You need to stretch in order to regain some of your flexible strength. Flexible strength is so powerful. You cannot allow yourself to become ridiculously rigid while you go through this process. That rigidity of your expectation of how this is supposed to play out. It's going to cause you to fracture. It's going to cause you to break. So what you need to do is make sure that what's happening, whatever it is that's happening, is held in a way that's firm but not constrictive. Allow the flexible strength. Magnetism. You're drawing to you others who are as brilliant as you. You're going through a field of just yucky weeds, yucky, noxious weeds. They're not even medicinal in nature. They're not like dandelions. I love dandelions. They're very medicinal. These are just weeds, noxious weeds. Ooh, Michaela says hemlock. Is that a weed? That's poisonous, isn't it? Hold on. Oh, what the fudge? Oh, that's scary. I've seen those. I don't know if it's hemlock though. Um, oh. Okay. Um, oh my goodness. Okay. Yikes. 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 What are the metaphysical properties of hemlock? I would assume it would be this is a time of change and movement. By approaching change with grace, we allow life to unfold before us without fear or anxiety. That's the message of hemlock. Ooh. Hemlock is a potent symbol that carries weight concerning spiritual and moral decay and bitterness in teachings. Oh. Yeah. For some, the message with a hemlock is that an individual is teaching, encouraging, coaching someone, something is doing this. And the intention, it's covert, it's creating spiritual and moral decay. It's encouraging bitterness in whoever they're teaching. Uh-oh. It's for purification. Let's see. It represents the bitter and dark side of the nature. It means that to adherents of some atheistic religions and symbolizes protection and healing. Mm. Okay. Okay. It's a lot to this message. There's a lot to this message. Oh, I was just reading about Socrates. Um, yeah. Socrates was charged with impiety and corrupting the youth of Athens. And he was found guilty by a jury of 501 Athenians and was forced to drink hemlock. That's the story of Socrates. So there is someone, I don't know if it's a member of a spiritual community. This is the fucking reason why I steer clear of other communities outside of our own. I don't be fucking with other people. I don't fucks with them. um, yeah, I guess this is a message that you guys have to be careful of the modern day Socrates who is poisoning your thoughts. I don't know who is being referenced. Alchemy in reverse. There's nothing about this process that you need to change. You can try if you want, but it will not be successful because every detail has been calibrated by your soul to produce a specific type of outcome for your benefit. Everything's going to be fine. You just need to be on board with whatever your soul is telling you to be on board with. I don't know what that is, and I don't know that I'm supposed to know. So I'm being told we're going to need a Kali card. I don't even want to shuffle. Let me just okay. Here, we got a card. All right. Ooh, okay. Okay. It's card number 44. Girlfriend. Oh, is that like the last card? Oh, it's the last card. Oh, that's fascinating. Okay. Card number 44. Bhavatarini, the tantric priestess of karmic release, manifests with a capacity to integrate higher divine energy into even the most stubborn patterning that has so far resisted healing. Ooh, this is so good. This is so good. Shifting. Shifting. My eyeballs feel like they're rocking. Shifting is happening. Whatever you've been resisting, whatever changes you've been so hesitant to pursue because how will it play out? Will it be in your favor? Will it not? You're not sure. You're worried. It's going to be addressed. When momentum is building and you don't know how to stop fueling the fire or reverse the damage, she appears. Her presence indicates that this is a powerful time for spiritual work and healing practices. She will support the work, and much growth can come from it, particularly at this time. Ooh, soul in all its grace, all its mercy, and its compassion is telling the things that oppose you, stop. You don't have to see this all the way through. You can if you want. And wicked people have a tendency to try and see things all the way through. Soul wants this to be known. I say let them fucking find out, but soul wants this to be known. This is quite possibly the one time in a wicked person's life where if they choose to see this all the way through, you will be completely fucking destroyed in perpetuity. It's up to them. No matter how wild they may seem, the storms of your life shall be gentled. You shall emerge unharmed. Goddess Kali, as Bhavatarini, is a tantric priestess of karmic release and spiritual blessing. She liberates devotees from karmic struggles, especially those who keep repeating the same patterns with different players. Her presence in a reading implies a divine mother's blessing of a divine disruption. Sometimes the jolt of disruption is such a shock that is temporarily unpleasant, and we feel, therefore, that it is unwanted or harmful. However, once we allow the workings of such disruption to realign our affairs, we will come to recognize and be grateful for what is taking place. We will see it as a saving grace rather than something we had to endure. The oracle predicts the ceasing of restrictive or negative influences. Woo! This oracle predicts the ceasing of restrictive or negative influences. So there is someone who's not fully committed to whatever it is they're focused on you about, but there's an external person, someone outside of them who's egging them on, egging them on, egging them on. If this is you guys, if it's anyone in our community and someone's egging you on to do something towards someone else, think for yourself. If someone has to egg you on to do something to someone else, that means you don't want to do it. It does not resonate with you. Whoever's egging you on, if they want it so bad, let that bitch ass do it themselves. Let them do it themselves. Don't get yourself caught up in other people's wickedness, because the moment you do, the moment you allow yourself to be ensnared by another person's net of wickedness, you are tainted by that wickedness. I had an unfortunate circumstance. This has happened a couple times. And these circumstances are brought to my thoughts. This thing of an individual who I have no problem with, none. They somehow get themselves embroiled in other people's wicked intentions, wicked thoughts. They get caught up in these groups that are so hell-bent on just being hateful of me, that for what? I've never even interacted with you. And they get themselves caught up in that. And then they find themselves talking shit about me, participating in fucked up things that are directed at me for no fucking reason. And then they realize, after participating in these things, wait, Emmy's never done anything to me. Yeah, because I don't do shit to people. And then they think, well, I'm just going to tell Emmy. She'll be fine with it. I'm not going to hold it against you or take it personal. But I will tell you, I won't feel safe around you anymore. I won't look at you the same. Because if you can be so easily influenced by other people's wickedness, that lives in you. You have the capacity. And I will always view it as it's only a matter of time before you come across another group who hates me again for no provocation, no reason, zero provocation. And who knows how far you'll take it that time. So, no, um, that type of thing doesn't belong in my sacred space. Is it because I think you're a bad person? No. It's because the potentiality for ugliness, it already lives inside you. And I don't need myself to be exposed and start growing that type of potentiality in me. I know what kind of person I want to be, and it's not that. So over the years, it's unfortunate. And it's been quite a few years. It's been quite a few years where I will simply accept it for what it is. Thank you for being honest with me. Thank you for that. But it's time for us to part ways. That's just how it is. Am I angry or wish harm? No, not at all. Not at all. It just is what it is. And I've come to see in the instances where this type of thing has happened, that was the final gift my soul was able to give. A very clear circumstance that has cost the person quite possibly the most valuable tool, the most valuable asset through their spiritual journey. And the gift is in helping them to learn causation and effect. That if you truly value something and something is truly of a benefit to you, cherish it. Don't be so quick to shit on it just because other people are saying we should shit on it. And I hope that lesson carries with them for the rest of their life so they don't lose anything else that they claim to value. Do I know whether they actually valued me or not? No. And I'm not interested in finding out. All I know is I will not allow myself to be tainted just because someone else was ensnared by another person's net of wickedness. You have to think for yourself. I'm not here to be liked by everyone. That would be a fool's errand. I know my sheer existence or my mere existence is reason enough for some people to be hateful towards me without having ever interacted with me. That's okay. Just don't get that confused. Just because I'm okay and respect you feeling however you feel towards me, I'm not giving passive permission to be fucked with. My soul is no longer playing about me. And the blockages that people have placed in front of me with the pure intention, pure hateful intention of disrupting my progression through my life and my purpose. My soul said, fuck you and your Tinker Toys. Your blockages have been destroyed. And there will be consequences for anyone who places more blocks in front of me. Not from me, but from soul. And I believe soul, 100%. Soul has never lied to me. Soul has always come through with whatever it promises. Once we allow the workings of such disruption to realign our affairs, we will come to recognize and be grateful for what is taking place. We will see it as a saving grace rather than something we had to endure. This oracle predicts the ceasing of restrictive or negative influences. Ma is adorned with flowers in recognition that she is celebrated during puja. Unlike the fierce Kali, who was adored in fearsome places in the dead of night, the kind Bhavatarini is adored in celebrations of the light. The puja or sacred ritual can be very simple. In its most basic form, it is a call to the divine ones to manifest on earth. It is a creation of light and has a cleansing effect on those doing the puja. And if the intentions and receptivity are strong enough, on the surrounding people and areas. Bhavatarini teaches that our spiritual activities can have a positive influence more so than we think is possible. In a reading, Bhavatarini foretells of a profoundly positive and expansive energy that will become available to us if we are willing to open our hearts to her. So open your hearts. I mean, you don't have to worship Bhavatarini. You don't have to worship anything at all, but open your heart to receive that which your soul has deemed you ready to receive. She also reminds us that we don't have to wait until things become severe to call on the Divine Mother's assistance. Why not call for her daily? Not only in the first place, wait, not only to resolve issues, but to prevent them from gaining traction in the first place. That's a powerful message, you guys. That's a very powerful message. Do not allow the adversity to gain traction. Squash it before it can get fully rooted, before it can get fully underway. Squash it. Stomp it the fuck out. It's important. You need to make this decision with conviction if you are going to choose this, and you cannot waver from it. I am fully committed to what I've initiated in the legal sense, as well as the spiritual. I am fully committed to it. I will see it all the way through. All the way through. Why? Because I deserve to no longer be bothered in this way, to no longer be inconvenienced, to no longer be targeted, to no longer be maltreated just because I exist. Whatever consequence people choose for themselves has nothing to do with me. But very clear boundary lines have been placed. These boundary lines are not my limitation. They are not the fences that keep me held in. These are the boundary lines that have been charged by soul as cutting edges to cut through any blockages placed before me. If we align ourselves with such simple and happiness-inducing wisdom, our lives will become peaceful and free from unnecessary drama. Bhavatarini can take the form of Kali Falaharini to destroy the results of our actions. Phala means fruit, and Harini means a female who takes something away. Woo! Taking away the ability of someone who is attempting to malign you, taking away their ability to bring to fruition their plans. Fuck yeah. Falafarini means the woman who takes away the fruit of our actions. This means she can conquer our karma. Kali Falaharini can cleanse our samkaras or mental psychic imprints. These are the familiar grooves that keep our soul repeating the same patterns, lifetime after lifetime. And this is the lifetime where we correct all of the patterns that have reverberated and echoed through our existence. I make this declaration right now. I level out all those grooves and fill them with my grace. Never again will I repeat those same things, same cycles with the same people. Never again. This will not follow me through any other life. Never again. This will not follow me through any other life. Never again. This will not follow me through any other life. Never again. Never again. They are comprised of habitual ways of thinking and behaving that prevent us from evolving into something new and more suitable. They are the karma of stuckness, limiting our freedom, creativity, and expression. Samskaras can be negative in quality, such as an inhumane compulsion towards perfection, but they can be something we can consider positive, such as a repeated attraction towards being a healer. Although being a healer can generate spiritual benefit if we identify with it, it can undermine our freedom to grow spiritually. It can become something overly restrictive and even lead to suppression of aspects of our authentic being that don't readily fit in with a healer archetype. And the example of a healer, the Divine Mother recognizes a goodness in your heart and your genuine desire to assist. Yet she will do what is necessary to protect your spiritual awakening and free you from your attachments. Yes, even the attachment to helping others. This doesn't mean that you no longer want to be a healer or that you're blocked from doing so. It means you will not be able to prop up self value using external roles. Ultimately, this is a gift, but it's a lesson that many healers find painful in the beginning. They need to learn how to offer their heartfelt work and not be attached to how it is received. If they see immediate results and powerful effects of the work, the challenge is to not identify with what is happening and make the divine grace about their own ego. If the ego is failing these lessons and getting caught up in feeling superior or inferior, then the divine mother will intervene. The lesson is that you can relish the roles you play in your life without allowing them to define you. So for some people, the role they've played is as a living demon. And it could be by way of conflict and being the opposition to a person struggling to learn a lesson alone. But if they relish that role of being a demon, they then run the risk of being demonic towards everyone just because they can, just because they've never been corrected before. Well, let me tell you this, I got a big ass fucking foot. That means I have a big ass fucking chancla. You want a consequence? So that was a threat to children, to my children when they were, it was my oldest. I didn't say this to my others. My poor oldest, I love him so much. He helped me learn how to be a more peaceful mom. The thing was, do you want a consequence? What will happen if you do that? And the consequence wasn't, um, it wasn't necessarily about being spanked. It's that, hey, I foresee some bad shit happening if you continue with what you're doing. Do you want to feel the bad shit? Meaning, okay, you keep jumping off the couch, you'll hurt yourself. That's a consequence that I foresee. Do you want that consequence? I didn't need to say that very many times for my child to know, like, okay, everything comes with a consequence. And then, of course, we shifted it into a more neutral space where it's like everything comes with a consequence. It could be a good consequence, it could be a bad consequence. You have to be the one to discern the different potentialities and consequence and whether you want it or not. But in the beginning, it was like, do you want a consequence? All right. You're asked to take care that you don't restrict yourself to the roles you play. Embrace the spiritual freedom and unconditional love necessary to be your full authentic being. You're asked to bear the discomfort of no longer relying on certain familiar patterns to give you validation. So people who are very self-destructive, people who are destructive towards others and lash out because their ego was wounded. There's another way to exist. And if you can't figure out that other more peaceful way to exist, your soul is going to Buddha palm you in the motherfucking face and teach you one hell of a fucking lesson. Ain't got nothing to do with me still. I'm just letting you know, trying to look out for you. If you don't want to look out for yourself, that's on you. That's on you. No, I'm being serious, guys. For people who are just, they're so hell bent on remaining in the same patterns, like, oh, someone upset you, someone disappointed you, someone did something that you didn't like. And so now you're going to go out of your way to be the nastiest motherfucking person they ever met. Okay, well, that's on you. Mhm. That's on you. Your soul is going to be correcting you, though. Ain't got nothing to do with anyone else. You chose that. This will open you up to greater self realization, self possession, and joyful freedom to be your whole self. You are on the cusp of a beautiful breakthrough into a more positive area. I love that. To amplify her blessings, open your heart to the unfamiliar. Ooh, I like that a lot. I like that. If you're willing to find the courage to choose different pathways and different actions, um, I think you'll find that you'll be rewarded. You'll be rewarded. You won't follow the same patterns that lead to unhappiness, that lead to disgrace, that lead to all sorts of hardship that you've potentially selected before. Choose something else. For me, the way this message plays out. For the last 8 years, I've chosen to do nothing about the ways in which people have been intentionally malignant with no reason, no repercussions for their unprovoked wickedness. I'm choosing something different. Absolute consequences. I'm choosing something different. And you know what's powerful is in my decision to choose something different, a certain segment of my morphogenetic template that I had locked away because of my fear of misusing these abilities, it's been wide open. It's been opened, completely wide open to me. I have full access to those abilities once again. Does that mean I'm going to wild out and people going to be handing out curses and hexes? I don't agree with that type of behavior on a personal level as well as professional. I don't agree with that type of behavior. I feel it is unnecessary. That comes from a space of a very toxic emotion that needs to be addressed rather than projected out, incurring unnecessary dark karma. So instead, I believe in correction. Only that which is necessary, that which is appropriate, having your hand guided as you correct what is trying to be forced into your life. I will no longer wait until everything is out of control. No, it will be dealt with immediately, head on, dealt with immediately, right? It's time. It's time for me to allow the balance to be restored in my life. I will no longer continue choosing the same pathways that allow me to be offered up to the wounded egos of others. I didn't deserve it then. I don't deserve it now. And none of my actions will allow it to be able to come to full fruition. Not the way I allowed it before. Never again. Does that make me wicked? Probably in the eyes of people who want to harm me with no consequence. Yeah. They'll absolutely accuse me of being wicked. But am I wicked? No, not at all. Not at all. It's important for you to know what your soul is trying to teach you. That your definition of yourself, your perception of who you are, your perspective about your life and your character can only be defined by you. Not the people who want to convince you something erroneous about yourself just so they can continue unchecked in their malignant behaviors. The blockages have been destroyed. The way forward is clear. But just because the blockages have been destroyed and the way forward is clear does not mean these wicked people will stop in their attempts. At least not until they learn you are not one to be fucked with. So maybe it's time for you to take a moment at some point after this video to reacquaint yourself with your unfuckwithable nature. The only reason people have been able to fuck with you is because you've allowed it to some degree. Didn't say you deserved it. Didn't say you initiated it. You allowed it to some degree. But now, allow your unfuckwithable nature to be the very thing that corrects these behaviors that are directed at you. They'll learn. They will absolutely learn. But you have to be willing to teach them, right? We teach people how to treat us. I'm no longer willing to teach people to treat me like I'm someone they can continue fucking with no consequence. There's consequences for everything. Everything. Okay? I hope this conversation helped you guys to come to terms with something that needs to be laid to rest, but not laid to rest before it's neutralized in perpetuity. No more. Blockages are being cleared. The way forward is clear. Allow soul to guide you. Allow soul to temper your hand so that you only do what is necessary to correct. Excuse me. And what is appropriate to allow you to heal. Okay? I'll see you guys again very soon. I don't have anything else to share. There's no links, no nothing. I didn't create the listing for the Baneful Magic Correction Workshop. I will though, and then I'll make an announcement. I'll see you guys again soon. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm